So last time we were doing life at zero gravity, isn't it?
That's it.
Life at zero gravity. Okay. So next what we are going to do now, if you remember, is that we had decided that we will see motion from an unreasonable point of view. One unreasonable point of view that we had seen was falling lifts.
Oh, right.
When your acceleration is exactly same as acceleration due to gravity. When you can expect things to lose their weight. Correct? That was one of the point of view that we had seen last time. Now today we are going to see some more unreasonable points of view, or life or motion from an unreasonable point of view. Let us now take up the question, but what is the reasonable point of view if we are calling something as unreasonable point of view?
Inertial, I guess.
Yeah, inertial frame of reference is what we will consider to be a reasonable point of view. Correct? So something which is non-inertial will ideally become a non-reasonable point of view.
Yeah.
Let us now take up the question of physical observation in an accelerating bus or a streetcar.
What?
Observations in an accelerating bus or a streetcar or a car. A peculiarity of this example, distinguishing it from the previous one, is in following ways. In the example with an elevator, the additional weight and Earth's gravitation were all directed along the same line, which was down. Yeah? Acceleration was happening downward.
Down, which is everywhere.
Yeah, so same line, up or down. So either they were being directly added to the acceleration, or they were being directly subtracted from the acceleration due to gravity. Yes, there was no vectoring involved. Correct?
I moved a bit. Can you see if the camera is recording me?
It is recording.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so this includes distinctive, although customary, sensation in the passenger. If the car increases its speed, there comes about an additional force opposite in direction to that of motion.
What?
If the car accelerates or increases its speed, there comes about an additional force opposite in the direction to that of motion. What does that mean? Have you ever experienced when you suddenly
Negative
accelerate?
mass?
No. Have you ever experienced when you suddenly accelerate a car, you get thrown backwards?
Yeah.
So backwards is an opposite direction to the movement of the car.
It is like because the acceleration was so sudden that your body was staying in the same place. That's why it feels like you're moving backwards. You're getting pushed back. I
Okay.
remember the other day I was doing something, learning something about that. That guy showed negative mass,
Oh, negative mass. Okay.
which will go ahead. Like if you take normal mass and if you take a small ball and you move it ahead, it will stay like this and then it will come like this, na?
Mm-hmm.
But as for negative mass, if you do like this, the negative mass will be like this.
Okay.
Before it will be ahead of what the string is going.
Mm-hmm.
He showed this in the form of some other thing also. He did something and he did it with a balloon in the accelerating car.
Okay.
Continuation.
Okay, let us add this force to that of Earth's gravitation. The resulting force acting on the person in the car will be directed at an obtuse angle to the direction of motion.
What?
standing as usual face forward in the car, we sense that our upward has moved in order not to fall. We shall want to become vertical, as shown in figure. Our vertical is slanting. It is
I can't
inclined.
understand a single thing.
1 second, I will explain. It is inclined at an acute angle to the direction of the motion.
You said obtuse, man.
If a person stands at right angles to the motion without holding on to anything, he will be sure to fall backwards.
What?
Yes.
Explanation me.
Okay. Let's see.
I need explanationing. इसको recording करो. Start recording.
Okay. So what this guy is trying to say is that
Goodbye. Continue.
if this is the ground, let's say
This is
the ground, okay,
yeah.
and somebody is standing like this, vertical. No, it's not right.
Red. Grey.
So if there is somebody standing like this, okay,
Two eggs.
now what is happening is there is one force which is always acting,
Downwards.
which is because of gravity. This force is equal to
9.81 meters per
yeah,
second square.
mass of the person into
Gravity.
gravity, acceleration due to gravity.
Yeah.
Okay, now what has happened is suddenly
My father's friend silent.
there is a
Silence. There is a
acceleration which has come about in forward direction. Okay, this is the acceleration of the car. Okay,
the car is a stick.
as a result we have got a backward push, correct, opposite to the
Yes.
direction motion. This backward push is another force which will be equal to r mass into the same acceleration,
Yeah.
correct, in this direction now.
Yeah.
Okay, you can say minus.
It will be different for all people.
It will be different because
It
mass
will
is
differ
different.
people person to person.
You can say this is the whole thing is negative because acceleration is in this direction. This is a negative force kind of. But you can add these two forces, correct? You can
Yeah.
add these two forces
Yeah.
and get a
M square into
Resultant.
G.
get a resultant.
What is resultant?
What will be the final vector in which the force will be acting?
Final vector in which the force will be
So
acting.
applying the parallelogram rule, let's say, you get this particular vector.
That is not a parallelogram.
This is a parallelogram.
Okay.
Forces at 90 degrees, the parallelogram will look like a rectangle. No?
Yeah.
So this becomes the
Addition.
resulting force, or the direction of resulting force is like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which will. Okay.
So what he's saying is that
You will
our
push.
natural instinct, because the gravity is the only force normally acting on us, is to stand straight so that we can counteract this gravity. Okay. Because of this sudden backward acceleration, the total force acting on us has come to this direction now. Okay,
So now you're standing like
instinctively the up direction for us changes like this,
Parallel.
exactly opposite to that, something like this. So this becomes the up direction for us, or the vertical direction for us.
Purple is gravity.
Vertical direction for us. Okay, this
This
becomes
is
the
up.
vertical direction. That
That's
is why you will feel like bending forward on an accelerating vehicle.
Not true.
If you don't bend forward, you will certainly fall backwards, because you are not trying to, you will not be able to balance the total amount of forces. Why do you stand straight? Because you have to create a reaction to this gravity, है ना, for a perfect position of rest. Okay, understand? No, the reaction of support, remember? Correct? Yes. So you have to create a reaction of support so that you remain at rest normally. But since the total force now acting on you is in this direction, so you have to change your reaction of support also in this direction. Otherwise, forces will be imbalanced and you are likely to fall somewhere. Correct? So that is why you feel like bending forward in a accelerating.
In an accelerating, okay?
Okay?
New name for a car. A stick. No, the car is a stick.
So this is what happens, this is what he means by we are trying to have a new vertical.
Which is a stick. Which is slanting two eggs.
Okay. Okay, finally, after all this acceleration, the motion of the streetcar becomes uniform and we can stand calmly. However, we are driving close to next stop and the driver applies brake and our vertical is again deviating in exactly opposite direction. Which means now we have to.
It makes you bend forward, but it makes you feel like bending backward.
It makes you feel backwards, yes. The
Backward.
moment the brake is applied, you will feel a reaction force, or you will feel that force now which you
Friction
are
of
feeling
the road
backward.
and friction of the road and stopping of the wheels creates a brake,
Correct. That leads to a deacceleration,
which leads to a deacceleration.
which leads to a reaction force onto you, which will be in forward direction now.
That's why while I'm sleeping in the car and you brake, like you just spam brake, I'm like, pew.
You are pushed forward. Correct.
Yeah.
So that is the force on you, forward. And now the direction of this drawing which we have drawn changes exactly in opposite direction. That means now your vertical shifts, instead of forward, it shifts backward.
Yeah.
So that means you need to lean
Backward to
backward
not fall.
to not fall. Correct. So if you check your sensations, you will find that when the deacceleration started, or when the brakes were applied, you seem to be pushed from behind. And when the car comes to an halt, then again you seem to be pushed in your chest.
Okay.
Okay. Similar thing will happen when the
Wait, what do you mean by you pushed in your chest or something?
means the moment the brake is applied, you suddenly feel as if you have been pushed from behind. You
Is it?
move backward, move forward.
Yeah.
Correct? And the moment car comes to stop again, that whole sensation stops, so you will feel like there is no acceleration anymore. So vertical has now come back to straight. So you feel that push on your chest that you need to straighten up again. Correct? Even though nobody is actually pushing you.
But when you put the brake, that force will make you go ahead. Once you have completely stopped, it will go like it will push you back again into a straight exact standing.
Yeah, correct. Because
Straight.
because the force has now stopped, no acceleration, the whole vertical has come back to normal, only G being there, only gravity being there. So you come back to vertical.
That whole equation gets erased
Yeah, the whole additional force gets erased. Correct.
for some time
Mhm.
till you don't start.
Similar thing will also occur when a streetcar moves around the curve. We know that motion around a circle, even at constant speed, is accelerated.
What?
We know that the motion around the circle, even at constant speed, is accelerated. Remember when we did circular motion?
Yeah.
Yeah. So faster
Question is, do you remember?
the streetcar moves, the smaller the radius of the curvature r, and the greater the acceleration, which is v square upon r.
What?
Yeah, that we did in that video.
Are you saying v square upon radius?
V square upon yes, radius.
What was this again?
The acceleration.
Acceleration of that thing.
Yeah, remember we had drawn that circle, two circles.
Yeah, I remember.
One circle was the vector sum of all capital R's, which were
Which is that?
instantaneous motion speed at that time.
The
Yeah,
I forgot
yeah,
what
yeah,
it's called.
yeah.
What is it called again? Tangent.
Yeah, tangent, correct.
The circle with the tangents in it, and the circle with the radiuses as tangents. I remember that also.
Yeah.
The tangent.
Yeah, there were
Tangent.
two circles which we had drawn.
And then there was some triangle thingy also. Triangle 1, triangle 2.
Triangle 2, that was speed at different times, which was only change in direction. There was no change in
Yeah.
size, but there was change in
Size?
direction. Or the
Speed.
length of the vector.
Speed.
Length of the speed vector.
Length of the speed.
Velocity vector. Length of the velocity vector.
Oh shit, I am laughing so much that my abdomen is paining from all that pain which is there.
Okay, but this is equivalent to appearance of a additional force directed towards the center. Now, if you feel a force directed towards the center, where will your vertical shift?
What?
If you are turning in a car, which means you are moving in a circle basically, correct? And you have a force
Sideways.
acceleration sideways, but the
Opposite of the direction you're turning.
opposite to the direction you are turning, that is outward of the turn, correct?
Yeah.
So therefore an additional force of mv square upon r will be
Oh.
m mass of the person or mass
V
of the car,
velocity.
v velocity of this thing, and r is the radius. Yeah, will be acting on the streetcar passenger during the turn, throwing him out towards the external side of the curve. Okay, this radial force is called centrifugal force.
Oh, again we are back to centrifugal and centripetal.
Yeah,
Centripetal.
We have already met this force before.
Yeah, in St. Petersburg.
In the action.
We met Peter in Petersburg, and we met Fugel in Fugelberg.
Okay.
Fugersburg. I don't know what's Fugersburg. It's in the alternate Earth from Andromeda Galaxy.
The action of centrifugal force during the turning of streetcar or the bus can only lead to a slight unpleasantness,
Why?
because the force mv square r is usually not large in this case.
What?
Because the force of mv square upon r, that is the centrifugal or centripetal force, whichever you take one, is not large enough. It's not that big that it makes you feel sudden jerks in your motion, whereas sudden acceleration and sudden braking gives rise to much stronger force, and you actually feel the movement. Okay. However, during the speedy motion around a curve, like what we do on bike at sometimes.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
to tilt so that you
This-
don't, so that the centrifugal force is cancelled out a bit, so that you don't move outwards. The whole bike doesn't fall outward.
True. You're right. So, when you have speedy motion around the curve, the centrifugal force can become great enough to pose a threat to somebody's life. The pilots come across large volume of mv square upon r when their aeroplanes do loop a loop. Yeah.
The loop means that whole
Uh,
barrel roll.
Not barrel roll. Barrel roll is like twisting around the center of the plane. Loop a loop is when they do this complete loop.
Like, this is the plane, this is barrel roll,
Yeah.
and loop a loop is this.
Yeah, loop a loop would be this, I think.
Look at my hand.
Okay. While the airplane is describing the circle or going into the circle, the centrifugal force can act on a pilot, pinning him onto his seat.
Oh,
Yes.
which
The
is a good thing.
Actually, it's a good thing. The smaller
So
the
that you don't just fly out of the plane just like that.
In fact, the pilots, when they do these maneuvers, they try to keep the angles and the speed is such that the forces which are acting on them are equal to 1g, so that they don't feel any unpleasantness or any unnecessary force on them, even when they are upside down. They can manage their speeds in such a way, or the rate of turn, the acceleration in such a way, that the acceleration at all times is roughly equal to 1g, which is always acting outwards. So even if the aircraft is upside down, they actually have force of 1g acting towards the center of the seat, and they remain pinned on the seat and they don't fall off, and nothing falls off in the aircraft actually. Everything remains at its normal position. Yeah, the pilots do that. They are trained to do that.
Oh my god, such maneuveration is so maneuvery that it's maneuver science.
Yeah, so they are pinned to their seat. If this weight becomes large enough, a person can be torn because of the tissues of the living organisms have limited amount of strength and may not be able to withstand this huge amount of artificial weight.
What do you mean can be torn?
Can be torn, so you can have injuries.
Because of that thing.
But how much weight can a person put on without seriously endangering his life? That depends upon the duration of the overload. If it lasts a fraction of a second, a person is capable of withstanding an overload of about 7g to 9g. 7 times g to 9 times g. It also depends upon how much training he has had to do this. Okay.
Okay.
During 10 seconds, a pilot can withstand an overload of 3g to 5g, that is 3 times the gravity to 5 times the gravity.
Of Earth.
Cosmonauts are interested in the kind of overload a person is able to bear for tens of minutes or even perhaps hours. In such cases,
Hours, that's. How will you even make a loop that long?
no, you don't make a loop that long, but you have to achieve the escape velocity, and you have to, that may take few minutes. You can't get out of atmosphere in few seconds, no? When the rocket is launched. The amount of acceleration,
What, the centrifugal force is also applied while it's going up?
No, it is not centrifugal force, but it's straight force. No, they are going against the gravity, and they are accelerating at a speed so that they can achieve that escape velocity. That means the acceleration itself will be pretty great, no?
I forgot what the escape velocity was.
Escape velocity was 11.8 meters per second or something. Yeah, something like that. I will say.
Speed of light is 300,000 kilometers per second.
Yeah. So when the rocket starts, it is at zero speed. Now it has to achieve that speed, which means it has to accelerate. No, that acceleration itself is very great, which means that puts a lot of force on the pilots. So, and they have to withstand that force for quite some time till the time the rocket reaches the orbit.
Space. Orbit.
Yeah. Only then the weightlessness starts. No, till that time they are accelerating. Remember?
Orbit is different for all things, right?
Yeah. So
Depending upon the mass.
So remember that cosmonauts start experiencing 0g when they are set in their orbit. Yeah,
In
when
the
the
orbit
rockets
of
have
the
stopped firing.
Yeah.
Correct? So till that time
And
they
then
have to
there's a
withstand.
zero
Yeah.
G also indicator. I remember जो वो था ना the International Space Station wala thing. I remember that the जो थे ना वो दो थे, those cosmonauts, both of them, they both had children, and one of their child, they had taken that toy as a zero G indicator. Do you remember that dinosaur?
Correct. Okay. So
Any object can be a zero G indicator. है ना?
You are right.
Even a piece of hair or the string itself.
Yeah. So if you are interested in minutes and perhaps hours, then obviously the amount of G which you will be able to sustain is going to be much lesser than 3G or 5G that we were talking about.
It will
Okay,
be
let's
about
see.
0.0 G.
Let us try to calculate the radius of a loop which an aircraft which is flying at some speed, we will see various speeds. What should be the radius for this loop to happen, vertical loop to happen, so that acceleration, that is v square upon r, is around 4g, which can be sustained for few seconds.
Okay.
Okay.
For few seconds. It can be sustained for 10 seconds.
Okay, let's see. So it should take less than 10 seconds to do such a loop, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying because you said that 10 seconds loop can sustain 3 to 5 G.
So, look at this. Stay there. Okay. So we are going to use an acceleration. The acceleration for the loop is going to be like a circular motion, which means it is going to be v square upon r. Okay. Where
What happened to M?
R would be, we are only looking at acceleration. The force, when we look at force, then mass will come. Yeah? We are looking at acceleration, which will be equal to 4g, that is 4 times 9.81. Okay. So now we have v square equal r, which should be equal to 4 times the acceleration due to gravity. Okay. So then what should r be? We just need to get this side, which means r is equal to 4g divided by v square. Yeah. Is it? No, it is other way around. This r is down.
Yeah.
So this is going to be 1 upon r. Huh? That means
R.
r is going to be reverse of this, v square upon 4g. Right?
1 upon R is equal to 4G divided by V12. V by V square. And multiplicative inverse of that thing is equal to the multiplicative inverse of the other thing.
Correct.
Okay.
So then ultimately you get this, no?
Yeah, basically you get the multiplicative inverse of everything.
And you are right.
Yay, maths topics are so fun.
Okay. So now let's see that, let's say that we have got an aircraft moving at around, let's take various examples. Now if we have got a velocity speed of aircraft is equal to 360 kilometers per hour. This is equal to around 100 meters per second.
Is it?
Yeah. Because 360 kilometers per hour, if you take hours into second, is 3600 seconds. And 360, 3600, सब कुछ कट जाएगा, इधर एक zero बचेगा. And kilometers, 1000 meters, one more zero from here will take away this zero, and 100 will be left, 100 meters per second. Okay. So 100 meters per second. So if that is the case, then we have our equation being that the radius should be, so that the forces remain 4g, the radius should be v square, that is 100 into 100, yeah, divided by 4 into 9.81. So what we will do for convenience, we will say that g is 10 because 9.81 is very close to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of rounding off we're doing. So if we do
Basically
that,
like
so
1.9
instead of
on.
equal, we will say it is approximately
1.9.
equal to, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this 0 goes, so you got 1000 divided by 4, which is roughly equal to 250 meters. Yes,
And this is not exact.
this is not exact, but roughly, yeah. So if you,
Why don't you do exact?
because we just want to guess how much will be the radius. Once the aircraft is doing loop a loop, we can't actually do, okay, I will do 250 meter radius.
Okay.
Yeah, he has to just know roughly how much radius he should do so that he gets only 4g. So even if he does 255 or 249, he'll be very close to 4g and he'll be okay type. Yeah. So if you are doing 360 kilometers per hour, then the loop, the size of the loop or the radius of the loop should be, vertical loop that you do should be around 250 meters, so that you remain at 4g. If you do a smaller loop,
It'll remain at 1G.
no, the g will increase. Yeah, because the acceleration will be more. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. We'll have to see that. Anyways, let's see. It will come up later now. But if speed is 4 times greater, let's say instead of 100 meters per second, you are doing 400 meters per second, then what happens?
I have no idea.
Then R is roughly equal to, you are doing 400 into 400
Which is
divided
equal
by
to
4 into
400 into
10.
400, which
So
is
this
equal to
0 goes away.
1600.
Once again, this 0 goes away, this 4 goes away.
Why? Okay. Wait, you can cut off 4s. I thought you can only cut zeros.
No, you can cut, but this 400 divided by 4 will give you 100, no? Yes? Correct? Right?
Silence. A few minutes later.
So this is
Confusion.
400 meters per second. 400
Confusion.
meters per second. 4
Confusion.
into 10, 100. So how much did we get?
7,000. 1,600.
Correct?
No.
4,000 meters.
Okay.
Which means that the speed goes up by, from 100 meters to 400 meters, speed goes up by 4 times, then the radius has gone up by 16 times.
Why? Okay.
Correct?
How?
4,000 divided by 250 is 16, no?
Yeah.
0, 4 into 4. Okay. 4,000 divided by 250 is equal to
Is equal
Zero.
to 0,
25 4 is 100. Correct? 25 4 is 100. That
And
means
for the horizon 4 is 4.
4 into 4 is 16. So this will
4 into 4.
be 16. After 25 4 the 100 into 4 more will give you 400, no? 4 the into 4, 4 into 4, 16.
Okay.
You getting that, no?
Yes.
You
But
got it.
you're saying like Forza into 4. What
Okay.
is Forza?
So If
And what
now-
is that?
what did we come out with this?
We
If
got
increase the speed by
4 times. The answer will increase by 16 times.
what is that answer?
Answer is the radius.
Radius. That means if you just increase the speed 4 times, the size of the loop will have to become 4 kilometers from 250 meters. Correct?
It
Yeah.
will become from point. It will become from quarter kilometer to 4 kilometer.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is that. Okay. Now we will leave to a more modest form of transportation.
Modest.
That is,
A car. A ship.
now we will leave our spaceship and aircraft and go to a more modest form of transportation like a bicycle.
Bicycle is not modest.
Everyone has seen how a cyclist inclines while rounding a turn.
What is inclines?
Tilts. Yeah. You must be doing it yourself. While
Same
doing
in
it.
skating.
Yeah, same in skating. You're right. Okay. Now let us suggest to a
For
cyclist.
some methods, not all methods.
Let us suggest to a cyclist that he should ride around a circle of radius r with speed v. Okay. That is, move with an acceleration which is equal to v square by r. Okay. Then, besides the Earth's gravitation, an additional centrifugal force directed horizontally outwards from the center of the circle will act upon the cyclist. You getting that?
No. Recordation. Accommodation. What are you searching for?
Okay. So let's once again say that you have a
Circle.
cyclist, okay, or whatever you want to say, you are skating.
What is that?
Okay, anyways. So you have got,
It looks like you made me wear pencil.
mg
Hector.
driving.
mg what? Mass into gravity?
That is the normal force.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's say here is the center. Somewhere here is the center of the circle which you are going around. Okay. I said like this. Yeah, something like this. Okay. You are
That is
going
not
around
the
this circle.
center. That is not the center.
Okay. You can get the idea.
Yeah.
So, if you are going around this center, which is at a radius r, this is what we have told you, that please move around a circle of radius r. This becomes r, and we have told you that please move at a speed of
79.
है ना?
Okay.
v. Correct? So you are moving like this, and what we are trying to get is what is going to be the additional force that you are going to feel. That is going to be, you have a force of
7.
No. What is the acceleration?
A.
What is the acceleration in centrifugal force?
R.
V square
Oh.
divided by r.
Yeah.
Correct? And what will be the force which you will feel? You have to multiply your mass with it. Yeah. So this is the centrifugal force which will be acting upon you, which will be facing mv square upon r, because you are moving in a circle which is of radius r at a speed which is small v. Okay. So again, once again we do the same thing. The resultant force which you are going to feel is going to be something in this direction. Yes. Which will be a vector sum of both these things. You are right.
What are we feeling this exactly? What
Bec-
is?
You are going around in a circle. So there is always a force which is throwing you outward.
Okay.
Correct? You are feeling that force
Yeah.
outward, which is centrifugal force.
Yeah.
So the centrifugal force is going to be, this is exactly the amount of centrifugal force which you will be facing. Because v square r is the acceleration because of centrifugal force,
Yeah.
and the centrifugal force itself is going to be
Mass.
acceleration divided and multiplied into mass. And mg is the normal reaction force, a reaction of rest which you have to,
Gravity.
because of gravity, which you have to counteract all the time. So now your new vertical is going to be this direction.
Which is exactly correct.
Correct?
Yes.
And that is why you said you need to
Bend.
tilt during turning in skating.
Yeah.
So this is going to be your new vertical.
At least make this person facing like this so that it makes sense.
Okay.
Wow, that person is extremely thin. And his skates have. He has a skate for.
He has one hand here and one hand here, so he's skating.
He's skating opposite to the direction opposite to the direction of its of the turn. He like the turn is this way, but he's skating that way. What is that?
No, he's skating this.
Oh shit. What is that thing?
Okay, let's say that between this line,
The man got very hurt in the process of tilting.
okay, let's just say that
His body went from yellow to red. And his skates also.
let's say this was the vertical, this is the new line,
Yeah.
and this angle is now alpha.
Okay.
Okay,
Why is
In
alpha
that
so
case-
common?
just because we are trying to introduce a little bit of trigonometrical term. Yeah.
Okay.
So this angle of tilt, if it is alpha, then trigonometrically speaking,
Trigonometrically, this is a triangle.
tan alpha is going to be equal to,
Something.
tan is what?
Tan is something divided by something.
Base upon perpendicular.
Base upon perpendicular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So in this case,
What all was there? Base, hypotenuse,
and perpendicular.
perpendicular.
So if this angle is alpha, this angle is also going to be alpha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is the angle
They
alpha.
both are same.
So if this is the angle alpha, what is the base? This is the base.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is also the base. Maybe.
So and this is how much? This is v square upon r, and this is mg. Correct? Or m, not m, only g. Acceleration only we are talking about, not force. Okay. So it is going to be v square upon r upon g. Correct? perpendicular upon base. Okay, this is the angle. So for this angle, this is the base of the angle,
This
and
is base?
this is the angle is here, no?
Yeah.
So this is the base. Correct. For this angle, this is the base. For this angle, this is the base. So this is the base and this is the perpendicular. So perpendicular upon base, and if we just turn this r around, get this r down, if you remember how we did that. So we get to v square upon r g.
How do we get that again?
It is like v square upon r, है ना, into 1 upon g,
Which is equal to
v square into rg. Correct. You are dividing v square by g, no, which is equivalent to multiplying v square upon r into 1 by g, no, multiplicative inverse.
Yeah.
So that is how you get this.
Correct.
Correct. Remember? Okay.
It's like you get this thing all, you make this into a thing, and you make this g thing separate. You make the v square upon r thing a separate thing, and then you make the upon g a completely separate thing. Well, because there's no value here, it will be 1.
Yeah, correct.
Right. So if you do 1 in upon g, which is equal to 1, because anything divided by 1 divided by anything is equal to 1.
1 divided by anything cannot be equal to 1 other.
What is it equal to?
Is equal to 1 by g.
What is 1 by g?
Anything divided by 1 is equal to
1.
that number itself.
What is 1 divided by something?
1 divided by something gives you multiplicative inverse or reciprocal of that thing.
What is the value?
It will depend upon what you are dividing it with. 1 divided by 10 will give you 0.1. 1 divided by 100 will give you 0.01.
1 divided by 9.81 is not equal to anything.
So that you are not doing that, Atal. What are you getting into? I can't understand. I forgot.
Okay, continuation.
Achha, okay.
I'm confused.
So what are you confused about? I can't understand.
I also can't understand.
Okay, you are sleepy basically.
No.
Okay.
I only forgot what the doubt was.
So in any case, what we are trying to do here is, okay, so this gives us an idea of the angle at which you have to tilt. But something which you notice is that in this whole calculation of angle,
The drawings are bad.
the mass does not come into play anywhere.
Yeah.
Which means what?
There's no force.
No, that the angle of tilt required to move at a particular velocity around a circle or turn at a particular velocity is not dependent upon mass, which means whether you are fat, whether you are turning a heavy vehicle, or whether you are turning a light cycle, or whether you are turning a heavy motorcycle, or whether you are only going on skates, whether it's a fat person, whether it's a thin person, whether it's a boy, whether it's a heavy man, it does not matter. If you are going around a turn of a particular radius at the same speed, the amount of tilt required is going to be same for everybody to maintain correct balance.
To maintain that
Correct balance, equivalence.
Bansley. It is maintained to Bansal. I don't know what I'm saying. Balance Bansley. Bansal. Bansal.
Okay.
Balance. Balance. Bansal.
So also you understand that this angle is basically dependent upon, see, radius. If the radius remains same, let's say around the same turn you are going, the turn on the road, let's say this is the road and the turn is this, so the radius is fixed, correct? You are not going to change. So what would require more tilt and what would require less tilt?
This would require more tilt.
No, this is the road. This whole thing is the road.
Hmm.
This would require, this whole thing is the road
Hmm.
from here to here.
Hmm.
Okay. So if you are going around this in this center line of the road, let's say, so you have a fixed radius. So when would you require more tilt? When would you require less tilt? From this formula, you can see that it directly depends upon the square of the speed. If you are going faster, you require more angle. Tan alpha has to be larger.
Hmm.
Tan alpha increases, which means the angle also increases.
Hmm.
Okay. If you have lesser speed, then the tan alpha also reduces.
Hmm.
And the correct. If you are going at, let's say, Rg remains same, or we have taken R to be, let's take R to be, let's take an example so that easier to understand. Yeah. If R is equal to
G.
no, let's take it 10
V square upon G.
10 meters.
Okay.
R is 10 meters. G we have said is we are going to take roughly as 10 meters per second square.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now Rg becomes 100.
Hmm.
Correct.
Hmm.
Now you start taking various velocities. Let's say if you have
I'll say a possible thing. What is your average speed on a bicycle?
let's say you are doing 36 kilometers per hour.
Speed of skating person who can do proper skating
You 36 kilometers per hour.
is faster than average bicycle speed.
Whatever it is, let's take 36 kilometers per hour, because 36 kilometers per hour will get divided and you will have 36 kilometers per hour.
Okay, let's take 36
So
kilometers
that
per
means
hour.
3600 meters per 3600
Workplace is here,
seconds,
not there.
which means equal to 1. So we will not take 1. So 1 says we can't do any calculations here. We will take, let's say you are traveling at around 10 meters per second. Okay.
Okay,
Let's say V is equal to 10 meters per second.
which is absolutely correct.
Okay.
It
So
can be.
now what is going to be your tan alpha? Tan alpha is going to be 10 into 10 100 divided by 10 into 10. Correct? Rg,
Hmm.
which is going to be around 1.
Hmm.
Okay. Now if you increase speed to 20 meters per second, so then your tan alpha is going to be, for 20 meters it is going to be 400 20 square divided by 100, 10 into 10, which is going to be 4. So tan alpha increased about 4 times.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
This is quite unrealistic because tan 1 is going to be something which we don't want to happen.
What is 400?
Hmm?
What is 400?
20 square, no? V square. If we take V is equal to 20, if V
Yeah,
is equal
correct,
to 20,
correct.
then V square is equal to
Yeah.
400. Correct?
Yeah.
So that is what happens. So if you increase your speed, the tan increases, and that means the angle also has to increase, which means to go faster you need to tilt more.
Which is absolutely correct.
It is absolutely correct. But what you must remember is that it does not matter whether you are riding a heavy thing or you are skating alone, you have a cycle, whether you are on a bike or something like that. If you are traveling at same speed, you have to tilt the same amount to maintain zero. It is purely dependent upon speed around a given turn, and nothing else, the amount of tilt that is required, the angle of tilt that is required. Okay. So we have explained why the vertical of the cyclist does not coincide with that of the earth. Correct?
What?
The vertical of earth is somewhere here and the vertical of cyclist is somewhere here or
While turning.
while turning. Correct? Then what will the cyclist, or what do you feel while turning?
Fetal force.
No, not only that. That you feel centrifugal force. ठीक है. But
No.
what is the sensation? How do you feel? It
Tilted.
actually feels like that you are no more traveling on a straight
Bicycle.
straight land. If actually the ground is like this, correct? Yes, the normal vertical is like this, but your new vertical is something here, huh? Correct? But what does body want? Body wants vertical to be, your
Straight.
mind and body wants the vertical to be straight down. So the sensation that you get at this time is trying to, let's say this is your new vertical because of your rotation or turn. Okay, so your body tries to
Which
get
is black, red,
body
white.
tries this to come here, get vertical. So your sensation becomes something of the sort as if you are actually traveling on a road which is, the whole thing is rotated by this much angle, which means your body starts to feel that you are traveling on a road
Which is
like this, so that this red line comes vertical like this, and for that to happen the road must be tilted at this angle. Okay.
No.
Which means that effectively something which you can't explain while you're turning is that normally if you are at this angle, okay,
Then you will be.
or no, you are not at this angle when you are actually skating. So let's move all this. When you are actually skating, you are tilting yourself like this. Now it becomes much more clear. Actually, since the body wants to feel down, vertically downwards, so you actually getting a sensation similar to something which is, if you are moving on a road which is tilted like this, but you are moving straight like this. Do these both match a little bit? This angle is same here also and here
Yeah.
also. Correct? So while doing a turn, you feel like
This
you
is
are,
a bit lesser of an angle, but it's
Yeah.
roughly correct.
yeah. So basically you feel as if you are moving on a
Tilted road.
which is tilted outwards. Okay.
It is shown in that picture also that it's actually you're tilted.
Yeah, that
But
is how you
when you tilt the road, it feels
Yeah.
like you are straight.
To counteract this effect, okay, what is done is that if you see on roads, sometimes you would have noticed, I don't know, if you on the road which you are going and we are traveling at high speed, the road is big 4-lane highway and all that, and the road is turning, you will find that the road itself is tilted little bit in opposite direction like this.
Is it?
Yes. You have seen the cycling tracks and all.
Yeah.
Remember that Bugatti Chiron wala full speed turn wala video? That
Yeah, the road
track
itself was
the track
completely
raises up like that. The track rises up around the turns. That is to prevent this feeling.
And because it's so fast.
Correct. See, if you see now, if you turn the track exactly like this, then this becomes the
Yeah, it will be
Correct,
natural.
vertical,
It
natural
will be
thing.
natural and it will not feel weird.
So it's not that you will not feel weird. What will happen is that you are actually pushing at the 90 degree to the land on which you are traveling, so that your grip and everything is much better.
Yeah, when you're tilting on a flat surface, then
the amount of force you are applying, the friction force gets
it
divided
goes like
into.
it's like this. So
Yeah,
sometimes
it
it might even slip.
Yeah, it
if
gets
the friction
divided.
gets
Because some of the
if
force
the friction gets disrupted, na?
the friction gets disrupted. Why? Because the force which you are applying on the ground is now divided into two parts. One part
Which
acting
is-
like this, and one part
Yeah.
acting like this.
Yeah.
Correct?
Which
But
makes the sum into this, which is the actual force which is being applied.
correct. So if you tilt the road itself like this, then the whole of the force which you're applying like this gets applied normal to the force to the ground on which you are traveling, and you have better friction. Okay, that is why this is done.
And also the Bugatti Chiron is too fast to actually just stop and then
No,
turn.
it is done on most of the highways where it is intended that you don't slow down too much to take a turn. Okay, where you have higher speed limits available, there it is done like that. The roads are made like that so that the vehicles are able to maintain their grip far better. In order to forestall this, again same thing, that he is saying the same thing. See, it appears as if you are moving on a road which is tilted outwards, which tends to make you slip. In order to forestall this, or in order to overcome this, highways are built with sharp turns. Highways are built wherein sharp turns are inclined a little bit, so that the horizontal for the person or the vehicle moving is actually exactly same as what it would be on a flat road. And that is precisely how the turns are constructed in cycle tracks also. If you see cycle races, there also you will find that the outer part of the tracks are inclined so that people can move on to that and feel the normal correctly and maintain good traction. So that is all for this particular unconventional point of view. What is unconventional point of view? Acceleration or taking a turn, right?
Yeah, which is also acceleration.
Which is also acceleration. So next time we are going to study properly what is centrifugal force. That is at least seems to be the next topic. Okay.
Stop recording. Stop recording. Stop recording. Stop recording. Stop recording.